General Hospital will reveal about General Hospital shock. Maurice Benard shows signs of weakness, sparking retirement concerns among fans. A wave of concern has swept through the General Hospital fan community after startling footage of longtime actor Maurice Benard, who has portrayed mob boss Sonny Corinthos for over 4 decades, surfaced from the set. In a recent episode, observant viewers couldn't help but notice a series of unusual details that hinted something may be amiss with the beloved star. During a scene where Sonny was speaking with Ava Jerome, Benard noticeably avoided eye contact with his co-star. Instead, his eyes appeared fixed on a cue card, reading his lines slowly and somewhat disconnectedly. At first, some fans dismissed it as a fleeting moment, perhaps the result of a long filming day or momentary distraction. However, once the full episode aired, unease began to build. Loyal viewers took to social media to express growing concern, suggesting that what they witnessed wasn't just ordinary fatigue. Subtle but telling signs, slower movements, heavy breathing, and even a slight slouch in posture, led many to suspect that Maurice might be experiencing a more serious health issue than previously known. The moment sparked an immediate and emotional response across online fan forums. For those who followed the series for years, it was jarring to see the usually sharp and commanding presence of Sonny Corinthos show such vulnerability. Comments poured in, "I've never seen Maurice like this before," and "I hope he's okay," echoed across platforms, reinforcing the idea that this wasn't just a casual observation, it was a collective worry from fans who've grown up watching him. This isn't the first time Maurice Benard has hinted at a possible departure from the soap opera world. Not long ago, he publicly revealed that he was seriously considering retirement to focus on other aspects of his life, particularly spending more time with his family and dedicating himself to his YouTube series State of Mind, where he explores mental health topics with remarkable honesty and compassion. Now, with the physical signs of exhaustion becoming visible on screen, many fans are wondering if the time has finally come for Maurice to say goodbye to General Hospital. And if so, it would mark the end of an era. Sonny Corinthos is not just a character, he is the emotional anchor of the series, a constant in the ever-shifting landscape of Port Charles. Losing Maurice in the role would be nothing short of heartbreaking for millions of devoted viewers. What makes the situation even more emotional is the eerie parallel between Sonny's current storyline and Maurice's real-life condition. On screen, Sonny has been grappling with health concerns and inner turmoil, mirroring, perhaps unintentionally, the apparent struggles Maurice is facing off-screen. This blending of fiction and reality has only deepened fans' emotional investment and concern. As of now, Maurice Benard has not released an official statement regarding his health or future on the show. Still, fans are keeping a close eye on every scene, every subtle gesture, hoping for signs of improvement. More than ever, they're not just tuning in for the drama of General Hospital, but for reassurance that the man behind the legend is okay. One thing is clear. Maurice Benard is deeply loved, not just for the character he plays, but for the strength, honesty, and heart he brings to every part of his life. Whether he chooses to continue his journey on General Hospital or step away to focus on his well-being, fans will be standing firmly behind him, offering their support, respect, and heartfelt wishes for his recovery and peace. Stay tuned to General Hospital for further developments, not only in Port Charles but in the real-life story of the actor who has touched so many lives. The growing suspicions about Maurice Benard's well-being and future with General Hospital have only gained more weight when placed in the context of a previous interview that stirred up quite a bit of emotion among his fans. Earlier this year, during a candid and heartfelt conversation, Maurice openly reflected on his life, career, and shifting priorities. In a moment that many now view as foreshadowing, the Emmy-winning actor revealed that he had been seriously considering retirement. What struck a chord with so many was not just the idea that he might leave General Hospital, a show where he has built a legacy over 4 decades, but the sincerity and vulnerability with which he spoke. Maurice explained that after spending much of his adult life immersed in the demanding world of daytime television, he had begun to reevaluate what truly matters most to him. Family, he said, has become his top priority. He expressed a deep desire to spend more quality time with his loved ones. Away from the relentless pace of television production and the emotional toll of portraying such an intense character like Sonny Corinthos day in and day out. In the same interview, Maurice also highlighted his growing passion for his personal project, State of Mind, a YouTube series he created and hosts. Unlike his work on General Hospital, this platform gives Maurice the freedom to be completely himself, no scripts, no characters, just honest, raw, and often emotional conversations about mental health. Through State of Mind, he has interviewed fellow actors, mental health advocates, and everyday people to discuss the often ignored or misunderstood aspects of psychological struggles. For Maurice, who has long been open about his own battles with bipolar disorder, the series is more than just a side project, it's a mission. A way to reach people, to comfort them, to let them know they're not alone. He described State of Mind as one of the most fulfilling projects of his career, not because of the spotlight, but because of the lives it touches. Many fans have praised the show for its honesty, its depth, and for the way Maurice uses his platform to normalize conversations around mental health, something that remains a taboo subject for many. He spoke with a sense of peace and purpose about the direction he hopes to take in the next chapter of his life, which for him may very well include stepping away from acting in order to focus more fully on this endeavor. So, when fans now rewatch that interview or read his words again in light of his recent on-screen behavior, it feels like pieces of a larger puzzle falling into place. What once seemed like a far-off possibility now feels like an imminent reality. His visible fatigue, the reliance on cue cards, and his distant gaze during scenes may not just be signs of a bad day on set, they may be the quiet signals of someone preparing to transition away from a role that has defined so much of his career. And while the thought of Maurice Benard retiring from General Hospital is undeniably heartbreaking for those who have grown up watching Sonny Corinthos navigate the chaos of Port Charles, there's also a profound sense of respect and admiration. If he does decide to step back, it will be not out of defeat, but out of strength, a decision rooted in love, passion, and the desire to heal and inspire others through a different path. His earlier words now resonate more than ever, that life is too short not to prioritize what truly matters. For Maurice, that means family, self-care, and continuing the meaningful conversations he's started with State of Mind. And for his fans, it means supporting him wherever that path may lead. Now, with the increasingly visible signs of declining health on set, the public is beginning to accept what once felt unthinkable. That Maurice Benard may truly be preparing to say goodbye to the role of a lifetime, Sonny Corinthos, after more than 4 decades of embodying the iconic character. Although Maurice has not yet made any official announcement regarding his future on General Hospital, the signals coming from behind the scenes are becoming harder to ignore. They feel less like isolated moments and more like subtle warnings, like quiet whispers before the storm, that have stirred a deep sense of unease within the show's loyal fan base. Viewers, many of whom have grown up with Maurice and watched his portrayal of Sonny evolve through countless storylines, relationships, and emotional arcs, are now left to confront the heartbreaking possibility that the final chapter may be approaching. It's not just the cue cards or the lack of eye contact in recent scenes that have fans worried, it's the totality of these moments, accumulating like puzzle pieces, painting a picture of a man who may be physically and emotionally preparing to step away. What makes the situation all the more poignant, and even painful, is the striking parallel between Sonny Corinthos' storyline on screen and Maurice Benard's real-life condition off-screen. In General Hospital, Sonny is currently navigating a complex and emotionally turbulent period, marked by unexplained health issues and psychological challenges that have left the character vulnerable and, at times, unstable. These moments, often dramatic and deeply affecting, have always been part of what makes Sonny such a compelling figure. But now, for many viewers, they carry a different weight. They are no longer just plot devices. They are, in a way, mirroring reality. This eerie overlap between fiction and life is what has deepened the emotional impact for fans. As they watch Sunny struggle through mental lapses, health scares, and growing isolation, they can't help but see reflections of Maurice himself, his fatigue, his slower pace, his softer voice. The line between the actor and the character has always been a thin one, especially given Maurice's openness about his own battles with bipolar disorder. But lately, it feels as though that line is beginning to disappear entirely. Sunny's pain is Maurice's pain. And for fans, that blurring is devastating. The idea that Maurice may be nearing the end of his run as Sunny is not just sad because it signals a change in the show, it is heartbreaking because of what it represents. It marks the end of an era. The closing of a chapter that has defined General Hospital for generations. Sonny Corinthos is more than just a mob boss in a soap opera. He is the emotional anchor of Port Charles. A flawed yet deeply human character who has endured more than most and yet somehow always finds the strength to keep going. And Maurice Benard has never merely played him, he has lived him. Poured his soul into him, and made him unforgettable. For millions of fans, the thought of losing Maurice in this role feels personal. It's a grief that is both real and symbolic. And yet, even as fear and sadness take hold, there remains a deep undercurrent of gratitude, for the years of storytelling, for the vulnerability Maurice has shared, and for the moments, both scripted and unscripted, that have made General Hospital not just a show, but a part of people's lives. Whether the end comes soon or further down the line, one thing is certain. The legacy Maurice Benard has built as Sonny Corinthos will never be forgotten. And if this truly is the beginning of the end, fans around the world will be watching closely, not just to witness Sonny's final moments, but to honor the man behind the character, whose dedication, authenticity, and strength have left an indelible mark on the world of daytime television. On social media, an overwhelming outpouring of love, support, and heartfelt messages has flooded in for Maurice Benard, following growing concerns about his recent on-screen appearance. From longtime fans to casual viewers, thousands have taken to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to express their gratitude and encouragement for the beloved actor. The messages range from deeply emotional reflections to simple, touching words of appreciation, and together, they reflect just how much Maurice has meant to the General Hospital community for decades. One fan wrote, "Maurice Benard has given us more than just a character, he's given us a mirror into the struggles and triumphs of the human spirit. If he needs rest, he's earned it 10 times over." Another post, which quickly gained traction and was shared by several fan pages, read, "Sonny Corinthos may be the heart of Port Charles, but Maurice Benard is the heart of this fandom. We love you, Maurice, not just for who you play, but for who you are." Fans have shared clips of Maurice's most iconic scenes, often pairing them with emotional captions such as, "The man who carried this show for 30+ years deserves all the peace and happiness in the world," or "Watching Sonny break down always hits hard." But now, knowing Maurice might be hurting in real life too, it's unbearable. Some fan accounts have even created tribute videos set to emotional music, blending moments from Sonny's tumultuous journey on General Hospital with behind-the-scenes interviews of Maurice discussing his struggles with mental health. The hashtags #ThankYouMaurice, #StayStrongMaurice, and #SonnyForever have been trending in the soap opera fan community, demonstrating just how unified the audience is in their support for him. More than just admiration for the character of Sonny, fans are rallying around the real man behind the role. Maurice Benard is widely known not only for his talent, but for his honesty, vulnerability, and the emotional courage he has shown, both on and off screen. He has long been a mental health advocate, openly sharing his experiences with bipolar disorder and using his platform to encourage others to seek help and speak their truth. That authenticity has created a powerful bond between Maurice and his fans, one that transcends the screen. One emotional comment read, "Maurice taught me it's okay to be broken, to feel deeply. And to keep going anyway. He changed my life, not just as Sonny, but as Maurice. I don't care if he never acts again. I just want him to be okay." And while the possibility of his departure from General Hospital is heartbreaking, fans are quick to clarify that they will support him no matter what. Another fan wrote, "It'll never be the same without Sonny, but if Maurice needs to step away, we'll be right here, cheering him on in whatever he chooses to do next." The sentiment is clear. Maurice Benard's legacy is already secure, and the respect he has earned goes far beyond the boundaries of daytime drama. If Maurice truly decides to retire, it would undoubtedly be one of the most profound losses General Hospital has faced in recent history. Sonny Corinthos is not just a recurring character, he is the soul of the series. A presence so deeply ingrained in the show's DNA that imagining Port Charles without him feels nearly impossible. He is the character through which generations of viewers have experienced betrayal, redemption, family, grief, and unconditional love. Yet, fans understand that behind the strength of Sonny lies a real man, one who has weathered his own personal storms and still found the grace to give his all, year after year. Whatever happens next, Maurice Benard will not walk alone. He carries with him the unwavering support of millions who grew up with him, who found comfort in his performances, and who now wish him peace, healing, and joy in whatever chapter awaits. Whether he remains a part of General Hospital or chooses a quieter life focused on his family and state of mind, Maurice has already made his mark, not just on daytime television, but in the hearts of everyone who has followed his extraordinary journey. Make sure to keep watching the upcoming episodes of General Hospital, not only to follow the ever-evolving storyline of Sonny Corinthos, but perhaps also to witness the deeply personal and inspiring journey of Maurice Benard himself, a man who has spent a lifetime bringing complexity, heart, and undeniable authenticity to a character that has become irreplaceable in the world of daytime television. As the drama in Port Charles intensifies, viewers will undoubtedly be paying closer attention to every nuance of Sonny's story, reading between the lines, searching for clues that might hint at what's happening not just with the character, but with the man behind him. Will Sonny find peace amidst the chaos? Will he face a new kind of personal reckoning? Will this current arc mirror something deeper happening in Maurice Benard's own life? These questions now linger with a sense of urgency and emotional weight. For decades, Maurice has not simply acted, he has lived the role of Sonny. He has poured his soul into every scene, capturing the inner turmoil of a man haunted by his past, driven by love, loyalty, and at times, rage. Through his portrayal, he made Sonny Corinthos more than a mobster, he made him a father, a lover, a flawed hero who continues to fight for redemption. And in doing so, Maurice connected with millions of viewers on a level that transcended fiction. His journey is one of resilience. He began this role as a young actor with promise, and over time, he transformed into a symbol of strength, not just for fans of the show, but for those who admired his courage in confronting mental health openly and honestly. With State of Mind, Maurice extended that bravery beyond the screen, creating a platform that speaks to hope, healing, and the raw truth of the human experience. It is no wonder that so many now feel invested not just in what happens to Sonny Corinthos, but in what happens to Maurice Benard as he navigates this new and uncertain chapter. Every upcoming episode may carry more emotional weight than usual, not just because of what's written in the script, but because audiences are watching with their hearts. They're tuning in not only to see what fate has in store for Sonny, but to hold on a little longer to the presence of a man who has been a pillar of the show for more than 40 years. His voice, his expressions, even his silences speak volumes now, each moment potentially marking the final acts of an unforgettable performance. So don't just watch General Hospital for the plot twists, the cliffhangers, or the high-stakes drama. Watch it for the story beneath the surface, the quiet, powerful narrative of an actor who has given everything he has to a role that has defined his career. And in many ways, defined a genre. Maurice Benard's journey is far from over. Whether he continues on screen or chooses a new path, his story will continue to inspire. Stay with the show. And stay with Maurice. Because sometimes, the most meaningful stories are the ones that unfold not just in the script, but in the soul of the one who brings them to life.